It may not have been his first time. That's what the victim's attorney says in new court filings about an IRS agent now accused of sexually assaulting a local taxpayer. The victim first spoke out in an exclusive interview with News Channel 5 Investigates. Tonight, our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams continues his investigation.
This is Samuel Garza. He's currently awaiting trial on a 10-count indictment accused of sexual battery, assault, and official misconduct. But these court filings raise serious questions about whether the IRS may have ignored some red flags.
Going by the way that this man did stuff, this man was only getting bolder.
Dina Inman is talking about IRS revenue agent Samuel Garza, who was arrested last fall for allegedly sexually assaulting her.
You guys have a good one.
During a compliance check of her Fairview convenience store.
When somebody tells you they're going to put you in jail, they're going to take your business away. I mean, I don't know what more he could have done to me.
Dina says Garza had looked her up on Facebook and he knew that she had a disabled husband and a young daughter. At some point inside this private office, she says Garza threatened she might lose it all.
We were taking and showing me how to take checks to now I'm going to jail and they're taking the business.
Did you think he was trying to show he had power over you?
Yeah, I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
That's when she says Garza made his move, first choking her, then repeatedly fondling her. It was an assault that she says lasted for hours, causing her to black out.
He couldn't have accomplished any of these terrible things that he's alleged to have done without making use of his badge, so to speak.
Dina's lawyer, Gary Blackburn, says investigators have evidence from a phone call Garza made in jail. In this federal claim, Blackburn says Mr. Garza's wife asked in a recorded telephone conversation in jail why he was permitted to call on Mrs. Inman without supervision after what had happened the last time, which leads Blackburn to question whether it all could have been prevented.
If you hire enough people and you give them this sort of power, and abuse of that power eventually will occur. And so there ought to be some system in which that can be anticipated and prevented.
The IRS says federal privacy laws prevent them from commenting on Mr. Garza's employment status. So if there was a last time when another woman made similar allegations, the IRS won't say.
There's never an excuse for abusing or hurting or sexually assaulting a citizen. Oh my God, this is outrageous.
Congressman Jim Cooper has been critical of the IRS's employment practices, which he says reflect the strain of budget cuts and having to enforce a monstrous tax code that no one likes. One report from a government watchdog found in 4 instances of substantiated sexually related misconduct, employees received suspension of 5 days or less. Another report discovered hundreds of former employees who had a wide range of previous performance and conduct issues at the IRS were rehired by the agency.
But it shows how desperate they are when they've had to go back and recruit people who probably shouldn't have been rehired with that sort of terrible track record.
Everybody wants to know why I didn't just call the IRS, because it would have been he said, she said.
To ensure that Garza could not deny what had happened, Dina says she ended up working with Williamson County detectives to set up a sting. That's when the IRS revenue agent was busted.
We give them so much power over us because, after all, they do have the power.
But it's the abuse of power that has left her still feeling so powerless.
The safety net is gone. The people that were supposed to protect me, they weren't there for me.
In court documents, Garza admits there was sexual contact, although he insists it was consensual. Despite that admission, Garza's lawyer says in those same filings that Garza has only been suspended, that the IRS is waiting for the outcome of the criminal case before it decides whether or not to terminate his employment. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.
Representative Cooper was recently among 345 members of the House who voted to prohibit the IRS from rehiring any employee who was previously dismissed for misconduct.